We are talking Detroit Lions NFL Draft Combine, players who rose and now could be targets for the Detroit Lions. And this is any part of the draft, whether it be round one or undrafted rookie. Article from Lions Wire, Jeff Risdon, my man right there. He's also my neighbor. Did an article here about players who the Lions could look to target from and after the NFL Combine. Yes, we got free agency coming up, but I do believe that the draft is the most important part of a team in building a roster. I think that's what you do. So I love the draft, love talking about it. But before we get into today's video, if you like hearing Detroit Lions from a perspective of a fan like myself or a former player like Herman Moore, you need to subscribe to the channel because that's all we do on here is talk Detroit Lions from different perspectives. Also, if you could smash that like button, that'd be fantastic. Let's go ahead and get into this bad boy. All right, here, so let's go ahead and go over the players that Jeff Risdon listed here. 8 players who the Lions could target after the NFL draft and coming up to, or after the Combine, coming up before the NFL draft. A lot of players rose and did well, and obviously we have positions of need here. Again, just like I said earlier, this is any part of the draft, so we're not just talking about the first round. We're talking about 7th round undrafted guys who rose and did well. So let's go ahead and look at this article here. This is not the first. The first guy here is Deonte Banks, cornerback from Maryland. And when I think of Deonte Banks, I think the Detroit Lions, say if they missed out on getting a corner at, say, 6 and 18, or if they traded out, to me, Deonte Banks could be an option for the Lions here in the 2nd round, or if they just want to double up on the cornerback position. 6 foot 197, he fast as hell, ran a 40 below 4.4. Very good. To me, he's a 2nd round pick. I think it's perfect where he's at if the Lions, with their first pick in the 2nd round. So if they're going to go that route, I think absolutely it could be an option. He did well at the scouting combine. He did rise here. I think it was more of initially, coming in here, maybe he was a third round pick, but I think he pushed himself up a little bit in the 2nd round. Definitely could be the option for the Detroit Lions, trying to build that secondary. And I think even if they were to get a cornerback in round 1, they could definitely go Banks here in round 2, late round 2, wherever they decide to pick him at, both in the 2nd rounds, be the earlier or back. He did good in the combine, and I think most definitely you can see Aaron Glenn put him on the outside, put him on the inside. I think he's universal, can do that 100%. Now, I haven't had him in my mock drafts really at all because I think the Lions go cornerback early, and maybe if they wanted to go double dip, it'd be a cornerback later, maybe in like the 5th round, but you never know. They may pass up on cornerback or they just want to double dip. So, yeah, I agree. I think that is an option for the Lions. Folks, make sure you go ahead and smash that like button really quick while we continue on here. Let's get to 100 likes in this bad boy. He got Kino Benton, the defensive tackle out of Wisconsin. I think he did rise as well. 40 time, pretty good for a big boy. Now, when you think of him, he's 6'3", he's 309 pounds. I think he's prototypical interior defensive line, especially if you're going to go the opposite of what you have in Aleem McNeil. I think you can get him. He's a 3rd round selection or a late 2nd round, kind of the same situation that we just talked about here. He plays with leverage at the point. He's pure power. He can push the line of scrimmage back. He delivers strong punch, and he provides a secondary pass rush as well, and he's powerful at the lower body, and he's got speed. If the Lions did not get a defensive tackle, say in round 1, this could be an option in late 2nd, early 3rd round. I don't know if the Lions go this route because I kind of feel like they're going to go defensive tackle early. We're talking 1st round. I mean, we got 2 picks there. Kalijah Cansey flying up boards, but say they miss out on that, most definitely he can be an option for the Lions. We need to have help at defensive tackle, and he performed well. So if they feel his ceiling's high, why not look at him for interior defensive lines? Let's continue on here. I concur with this one. Trenton Simpson, absolutely no doubt. Speed, fast, universal. He's my number one linebacker in this year's draft. Now, it's crazy to think, but mock drafts now have him falling in the second round. If he's in the second round for the Detroit Lions, you run to the podium. You would immediately upgrade the linebacker position. God, imagine what Aaron Glenn could use him. You know, you could do him at safety at sometimes. You can rush the passer, and he's good with pass protection and speed as well. I love Trenton Simpson. Most definitely. I loved him before the NFL Combine. But if he does fall a little bit, man, if he's there in the second round, you're looking at him. Yeah, Jack Campbell, no doubt about it. Trenton Simpson should most definitely be on the board for Brad Holmes. Absolutely. I feel like he goes in the first round, late in the first round, but you never know. Will they take him at 18? I don't believe so. I think they'll go different direction there. Cornerback, they don't take one earlier. They'll go defensive tackle or even running back. I don't think they would do it at 18, but if he somehow slips, the Lions got to get Trenton Simpson. You have to build that team up. So, and I've had it in many mock drafts, as you know, so for sure there. Anthony Richardson, he's got here, I think he's on everybody's radar at this point. He blew up the scouting combine with freakish ability, agility. He literally broke records out there. And when he was doing the long, he's got a cannon of an arm. He's doing long passes, is accurate. 65-yard passes. He's got to get better work on the small to intermediate routes. He's not a day one starter. He is a year one or year two type of guy. If they were to draft Anthony Richardson, he'd have to sit behind Jared Goff for at least a year. He would not be ready to play here. The problem is Anthony Richardson's not going to be available at pick 6. So if you're a Richardson guy, I'm sorry to tell you, I absolutely do not believe he will be available at pick 6. He could be the second or first quarterback off the board because of what he did at the NFL Scouting Combine. His ceiling's enormous, but he's the ultimate boom or bust prospect, depending where he goes. You know, I just don't believe he's going to be there at 6. So if you don't want a quarterback, you don't probably have to worry about Anthony Richardson. Lions did talk to him. They're interested, I'm sure, you know, because of what he did. Would they take him at 6 if he fell there? I don't know. Probably more smoke. I just don't believe he's going to be there. But, yeah, the Lions got to look at every single position, even the quarterback position. That's just what GMs do. You know, whether you want a quarterback or not, I mean, you got to look at every position, kicker, punter. That's just the way that a scouts work and a way that you got to work. But I don't think he's going to be there in all honesty. Let's continue on here. Jamir Gibbs, absolutely a target for the Detroit Lions because we don't know the future of DeAndre Swift. We haven't, to this point, while I'm recording, re-sign Jamal Williams. Maybe we have while I'm recording this, but just an FYI, I'm recording this before Friday. But his speed, his flash, and you got to understand, he's a big play running back. We all know Brad Holmes liked the big play. I mean, literally traded up for Jamison Williams, so it shows you that he's looking for guys to go and make an immediate impact and make some big plays there. Jahmyr Gibbs is a second-round prospect, in my opinion, so if the Lions were to go any other position in round 1, they can take Jahmyr Gibbs in the second round, and you pair him up with, this year, DeAndre Swift, and if we do sign Jamal Williams, you would have an insane running back room, and he would be the heir apparent to DeAndre Swift. That would mean the end of Swift after the season. Hell, they could trade him before the trade deadline if they take Jahmyr Gibbs because, you know, he brings that pass catch, the same abilities that Swift has, he has, and he just has that big play. So, he's on the list here for the Lions targets, and I had him in a mock draft before. Let's continue on. Owen Pappoe, yes, 100%. I've had him in multiple mock drafts, and a lot of people weren't high on him. I think when it comes to Pappoe, he would be a value pick probably in round 3 or 4. We don't have a 4th-round draft pick, But if they trade back, say, from 6 to 9 and they pick up one, Owen Pappoe legitimately could be an option. He's big, stout, fast. He did great. I mean, look at the numbers he did here in the NFL Scouting Combine. It was ridiculous. He is a freak. And I think the Lions legitimately could target him. And if you look what they did here with Malcolm Rodriguez in round 6, Derek Barnes in round 4, they do like to find linebackers in the mid-round. So 100% because he did so good. I think now he probably is a round 3 guy. So if you're looking to get a Pappoe, you missed out on other linebackers, or if you're just simply doubling up, Pappoe is 100% an option. He killed it in NFL Combine. And I was happy to see that because I am a fan of his work. Let's continue on here. Kyer Clark, Louisville. Now, to me, when I think of him, he's a smaller guy, slot, 5'10", 181. He's fast as hell, though, a 4.4 speed. But he's more of a late round guy. Round 5, maybe because he did have a really good combine, he can go into round 4. But I agree here, he is a day 3 prospect. But if the Lions were to double up on this, I don't think this would be a number 1 guy. If you're to double up, you're trying to compete at that corner in the slot position, you definitely could go here. And he did really good in the Scout Combine. So round 4 guy for me, and that's more double up. If they didn't pick a cornerback before round 4, I think Brad Holmes would be under fire by the fan base and everybody else. But yeah, no doubt about it, I like what he brings. Let's continue on here. Jarrett Patterson, I've had him in mock drafts. Absolutely could be an option for the Detroit Lions. We need to have a backup we need to have a backup here in the offensive line. I think you can make him a guard. Evan Brown's not coming back. I think he could be a great backup offensive lineman, guard. Probably could play center as well. More guard here for me. But he would be an option in round 5/6 round. Again, he had a good combine. He showed that he's athletic, got some good hands. I liked him. I've had him in multiple mock drafts. I legit think this is an option here. So me and Jeff agree. Okay, that's it. So that is it there. I do agree with these players that Risdon did. Let me know in the comment section, what is a player maybe that was not mentioned on this article that you think the Detroit Lions could look to target? Bijan Robinson obviously is one. I think they could target him as a player to get. Hendon Hooker if they're looking for a backup, but he wasn't in the NFL Combine, so there's no really, this is for the NFL Combine. So, but let me know in the comment section what you have on this, what you think the Lions could do. With that said, folks, adios.